Like, I hardly bake and I have a
I do
really
like
fun fact.
the super supportive sibling I am. Told me videos. I have a really good. My reply was, I have a really good. Because you are a sibling. Welcome to the Northern Knits Podcast. We're two friends in fibre who knit, craft, crochet, and talk everything in between. My name is Jocelyn and my co-host is
Diana.
I'm told it's episode 262 and I have a rocking chair. So I apologize in advance if everybody sees me moving all the time. It's because I literally have my foot up at the crossbars under my desk and I'm literally rocking in my rocking chair. How do you stay still
What else
in a
does one
rocking
do in a
chair?
rocking chair?
You rock.
I'm resisting. I'm resisting so hard rocking in my chair right now. So I've got my desk chair. Like, my thing is I have a swivelly desk chair and I have to resist so hard just swiveling back and forth all the time. Like, I've got my knee parked, like my leg jammed between the wheelie part of the chair and underneath the desk to stop myself from doing it absentmindedly.
You swivel absentmindedly?
I swivel absentmindedly.
You're an
And then I
absent-minded
realize I'm
swiveler?
doing it in a serious work meeting and I'm just like swiveling around like a small child, like dangling my feet over the side of the chair. Like, maybe stop that and be professional for 2 seconds.
You're an absent-minded swiveler.
I am an absent-minded swiveler.
Which right there is a show title.
It is. I'm gonna write that down.
That's great. All right. Well, while that's going on, and I try to remind myself that I should not be rocking in my rocking chair while I'm recording. Whoa, it's gonna be one of those episodes, guys. It's a Sunday, it's an evening Sunday recording, which means we are in top form.
Absolutely. Toppest form.
Yeah. This is gonna be super spectacular. Diana, do you want to let everyone know what we're gonna cover this week? I don't even know what to work on. I don't even know anymore. I don't know.
We've got What's in Our Cup, Cool Threads, Woolly Workings, Wool Gathering, and Kniterature. I don't know why that was so hard to say. Wool Gathering.
Afraid to pick
my
up
mouth
anything.
wanted to do something else. I don't know.
I have a teacup full of chocolate chips. I feel like sugar is not going to help this.
No, I don't think that it is. Why are your chocolate chips in a teacup?
Because when one wants chocolate chips, one's old school great grandmother's china is the perfect storage vessel for poured chocolate chips for random snacking needs. Duh.
I see. Okay.
Why else would you have chocolate
I admit
chips?
I have never had snacking chocolate chips out of a teacup. And I think sometime this week I will try that because that actually sounds delightfully dainty.
It is delightfully dainty. Well, I needed a way to have snacking chocolate chips here beside the computer, and I didn't want to use one of my shiny metal measuring bowl things that I used to measure spices out in, like spice blends out in. So I was like, wait a minute, I have a stack of like 14 teacups I never use because they're tiny. Why don't I just use that? Turns out it's perfect.
Nice.
It's not even my idea. It's Erin's idea because Erin came over and she put the Indian dessert I like to eat in there too. And it just makes the perfect portion of that Indian dessert that I like, which is the cardboard that tastes like cotton candy.
You're selling it really well.
The cardamom flavored cotton candy in your mouth looks like dried cardboard.
I admit it doesn't look like the most appetizing thing. We should really learn and remember what that stuff is called.
Yep. The package has like no English on it.
It's like how I describe like saag paneer as chunky green sludge.
Yep.
It does not sell it very well, but like my favorite food is chunky green sludge.
We have converts. I don't know what you're talking about. It's fine. I'm gonna do a sleeve measuring technique. Notice that's not 4 inches. Do I want to start decreases? I'm at 3 inches.
I don't know. 3 or 4 inches from what?
My shoulder. No, I should go 4 inches. I'd like to say I have a slender arm. That's a lie.
Probably should do what the pattern says. I've learned that I do not know better than the pattern.
Totally fair. I know I don't know better than the pattern. It still doesn't stop me. 1 more inch and in the round we go. I had to find something to work
So-
on while we record. Otherwise, all I'm going to do is just rock in the rocking chair.
Besides chocolate chips, what else do you have in your cup?
I have some new to me tea. I was trying to find turmeric ginger tea and some mint tea. And it was proving difficult because I don't go to the stores very often because COVID. And I'm supposed to minimize my exposure. Like, what does that even mean now? I don't even know. I don't know. The vaguest of
I don't know.
instructions from my
Live
general
in a
practitioner.
hazmat suit, I think, is about
Which
what that
I
means.
have no interest of doing whatsoever. So I was like, okay, Amazon has all sorts of weird, wonderful things that I can order. I get my wet cat food from them, guys, because she loves the Mariner's Feast from Friskies, and I can just order it from them rather than try to hunt it down in the store. And if anybody's been trying to find cat food in the last 2 years, they will tell you the hit and miss ratio is obscene.
Yeah, I can see that.
Well, I would go for 2 or 3 weeks back to back, and there'd be nothing on the shelf in any of the flavors she'd eat.
Combination of pandemic pets and supply chain issues.
Combination of the two. So cool. She eats dry food half the time. She eats wet food the other half the time. Amazon has it. I order it. It's here in a couple of days. I'm giving money to the big A. That's just how it's going to work. So since they already get some of my money, I'm like, let's give them more. They have a brand called Good Earth on there, and I picked up their green tea Moroccan mint to try tonight.
Is it suitably minty? How does it compare to other teas?
Okay, so it's no Pacific Northwest from that tea shop in Halifax, but really nothing is the Pacific Northwest from that tea shop in Halifax. However, it is a decent cup of mint tea, so I'm very happy, and I would order again.
Nice.
And my Northern Mitts mug. Look, swag mug. Look at me drinking on brand mugs.
Oh, so on brand.
So on brand. So
I have
that
a
was
dinosaur cup.
which is on brand for you.
No.
So that is what's in my cup right now.
In my very warm dinosaur cup. I should not gesture with a cup full of tea. That's a bad idea. Why am I doing this?
Oh, Phaedra was up at my
tea?
face earlier and I just got cat hair everywhere. Gosh.
Oh no. Tonight I'm drinking the last of my gingerbread chai from Bird Blend, which was in my advent calendar that we did with the Patreon folks this past year. So it's the last of my gingerbread chai with some milk and sugar.
Good.
As a nice desserty sort of tea.
I mean, the bright side is you can start gearing up to get ready for this year's advent calendar.
I know. It's April, and if I'm smart, I'm going to start thinking about it. I'm actually already thinking about Christmas cards.
Good plan. Because if you get them done early, they're less stressful.
I know.
Less stressful. All right. That's good. I have no cool threads because, well, my plans for today got canceled, so I didn't go anywhere today.
Fair, fair.
And it was 8 degrees, 9 degrees. I think we may have hit double digits today outside because warm outside today.
Nice.
All of the windows have been open. It's been very lovely fresh air in the apartment today.
I went to Toronto yesterday to visit with some real life humans.
What?
Yeah, I know. It was weird.
But you could have visited with me over the internet. Disappointed.
But there were real life humans, one of whom I'm related to.
I figured when you said I'm in Toronto,
cat.
I figured you were visiting your brother and his cat.
It's very important, you know, got to visit the cat.
I'm literally making plans to go see my sister and brother-in-law's new dog.
So yesterday I was wearing my Cozy Up Knits mystery knit along from last year, 2 years ago. Was it 2020? I don't remember anymore. What is time? But it was my sister's favorite things, the one that I did with the pink and purple and white gradient and the gray.
Last year.
Was that last year?
That was last
I don't know.
year.
What is time? Who knows? No, you're right. That has to be last year because I took the finished pictures in this backyard.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, that makes sense. Anyway, it was like cold and rainy yesterday. Well, cold is a relative term. It was like damp cold. So
Which is
like
cold.
above zero because it was raining, but it was damp. So
That's
like
still cold.
but it's the perfect thing for wool.
Yes.
So I was feeling really superior with that. And then right now, as we record, I'm being cozy in my Comfort Fade cardigan that I made some amount of time ago. I don't know. I don't remember when I make things anymore.
It's good that you make
I made a
Ravelry
sweater.
pages. It's good that you make Ravelry pages.
It is. I did not look at it before we started recording, but anyway, yeah, Comfort Fade
That's
cardi.
fair.
Yeah, it's so fadey
It's
and
so
comforting.
fadey and comforting.
It's fadey and comforting.
Uh-huh.
It's the evening.
Things
It's almost 10 o'clock at night for me.
Things I deal with, people. All right. Which case you went to Toronto. I don't suppose you did any knitting while you were in Toronto for Yarn on the Go.
No, because we were walking around and there wasn't a whole lot of sitting, and I knew there wasn't going to be a whole lot of sitting, so I didn't bring anything to work on. So there wasn't going to be sitting and crafting time.
You
There's a
need
lot
to
of
learn
walking.
to knit and walk at the same time.
Yeah, but the stuff I wanted to bring with me was my like big crochet sweaters, and that's not really conducive to walking and
No.
yeah. It's what I'm in the mood for right now, and I can't crochet and walk at the same time. I'm not there yet.
I don't know. Yeah, no, I don't even attempt to crochet and do anything at the same time.
Like I'm having to look at what I'm doing, and all I'm doing is granny stitch right now. I'm doing double crochets and chain ones, and I still have to look at it because it's not knitting, and I have not learned how to do it without looking yet.
In which case, we'll jump right into what we're working on, or Woolly Workings, and I'll talk for a while, which will let you do some crocheting.
Yes, that is in fact what I'm doing.
I was going to say knitting, and my brain went, that's not the right word.
Nope.
That is in fact
I am not knitting.
Word. All right, so while we record, I'm working on my Wood Woes sweater, which is the podcast anniversary cal, which ends at the end of the month. Look how it's the middle of the last of the month, and neither me or Diana have made significant progress since the middle of last month, when we should have been wrapping this up.
Hey, just you wait.
Do you have a finished shawl?
It's not finished.
Well, that's what I thought. So
finished.
I literally knit like 6 rounds on this, you guys, during the week. I am so at the beginning of the sleeve that I still haven't started decreases yet. Since you noticed, I was like, can I start an inch early? I know I can't start an inch early. I am 3 inches into a very long sleeve because I have monkey arms. My Wood Woes podcastery sweater is being made out of some North Cardinal, I think. Cardinal, from Erin from Fireweed Fiber Co. It was the last bird colorway of her sock club from last year. She kindly dyed me up extra, mostly because I giggled and asked for more. She's a kind woman, and that's how that works. And I am desperately trying to get at least my sleeves done soon. I hate sleeves, so this always takes forever and a hot minute, because I will put them off. I fell asleep knitting on this sleeve. That's how boring I find sleeves. But stocking it in the body of a sweater, I'll happily do that for hours. Happily do it for hours.
Weird. What's different about a sleeve?
I don't know. But here you go. Got some sleeve magic going on. Little sleeve. Literally 2 other sets of needles tied together at the bottom of the body, because I can't pick up fingering weight stitches. So there's that. Inside out, because when I knit in the round, it's inside out and backwards, guys.
Somehow. I'll never understand.
Nobody will understand. I don't understand, but it works, and I'm happy. So that is how it's going to go. Okay, the other things I can talk about here that has nothing to do with what we're doing. I put on 8 rows. Are you sensing a theme? It's been a very distracted week. Very distracted week.
You don't say.
I put on 8 rows on my stripy sock. Look at that stripe.
Ooh,
So
I do actually love those stripes so much though.
It's a vanilla sock, and I did the toe in a contrasty orange color, and then I've got the February Empress colorway from this year's sock club from Fireweed Fiber Co. and some pink, and I'm literally counting 4 rows and then switching colors. That's the whole pattern, guys. It's the vanilla sock that I do all the time, toe up, and every 4 rounds I change colors. That's it. That's all there is to it. So I'm going to stripe up the foot of my leg, the foot of my leg, the foot of my sock, words, and then we'll see how long the mini goes. They're just going to be shorty, so because they're for spring, right? So they're just going to be little shorty socks. And I have enough of the orange that I can do a contrast toe, heel. So my toes and heels will be contrast colors.
Nice.
So
It's
cute.
gonna be so cute.
It's so cute. I'm very excited. These are on some Addie Sharps that I got to test. The wonderful Miss Asa's like, I don't like them, so I'll send them to you to see if you like them. And I am trying them out. And so far, they're not so bad. I'm not sure about the cord, but again, I'm spoiled with the shampoo cord, so that could be a thing. That could be a thing. That's what I was going to work on today. I got distracted and farmed instead. I suppose I should keep going, hey?
Probably. You have 8 things to my 3, so.
I ripped the Bee Relentless mittens.
Okay.
Frogged the whole thing. They're gone. They don't exist anymore. I still have the pattern. I still want to make them. I'm not ready for something quite that fiddly. Like I want stuffy fiddly or like lace patterns on panels of backs. You know, nice big repeat patterns or something that makes a 3D object. The lace fingerless mittens are very detailed. They're very small and they're a very small needle. I'm not in the mood for it. So I've claimed back that yarn. I set aside minis that I want to do. Like I sorted my minis. Hardcore sort the other week. So I do have fingerless mitts I want to make that are a far simpler stuff. It's just a stripe rather than literally different paneled sections with a gray main color section in between with center double decreases and increases and color switching and different lace patterns and yeah, you get the idea.
Okay.
But when I'm ready
There's
for
a lot
those,
of words.
a lot of words, but when I'm ready, I'm going to work on those Bee Relentless mittens. But I had to get rid of them, so that was the thing. All right, what else can I talk about? I can talk about my holly cardigan, which is not done, guys.
I thought it was done.
Nope.
Was it done before? I thought it was done.
Wasn't done before. It was one of the check-in knittings. And I left it on for an extra month because I wanted to get 2 sleeves and a neckband done. I got 1 sleeve.
Okay. Good.
And a neckband done.
Okay.
Sleeve, neckband. No pockets. Because the leftover chocolate from my chocolate covered cherries wrap is the brown in this cardigan.
Nice.
And because Impeccable is a big commercial line, you don't really have that much of a variation difference between dye lots.
That works out.
So that works out. And I found a spare skein of pumpkin because I ran out of pumpkin. So I can do the second sleeve. I also remember that the shaping for this first sleeve on the shoulder bit was a pain in the keister. Keister. And I always find first sleeves take longer than second sleeves because first sleeves you've got to, and I've got some areas where I need to block this bad boy pretty aggressively because I did some weird joining and rounds. That's fine. Once it's all blocked out, I know it'll be fine. I just need to do the blocking part. So now that I figured it out, the second sleeve takes less time with transitions because then I can match the sleeves up and I can count how many rounds each sleeve goes down to fit my length and match the sweater pattern because they have it set up in the pattern, which is free, which is why I can talk about it. They have this middle transition much shorter of the second color, but my arms are so long. If I did that, it would be maybe bracelet length.
That's
So I decided
that's the most annoying length.
most annoying length. So I decided to add the extra length that I needed in the red or color 2 section, which meant I couldn't follow the row count of the pattern because the row count for the pattern is off.
Right.
So there was a lot of matching this up to the length of my sweater and matching up the stripes there. I mean, it's not going to be perfect, it never is, but it's pretty darn close. So that's what I worked on. So I do want to get the second sleeve done, but I did not make this check-in knitting for the month because I really need to just get it done. The other thing I was like, I'll just whip through that second sleeve and it'll be finished. No, it's not finished.
Of course not.
Of course not. That is being done into some impeccables from Loops and Threads, and it is a crocheted cardigan. The fit is amazing, by the way.
Yeah, I'm looking at that and I'm like, man, I want one of those too. I'm just gonna like also make one of all of the crochet things that you make.
Sure. They don't take long. And you can, and because your dimensions fit more into what a lot of pattern dimensions fit into a lot easier than mine do. Does that make sense?
I tend to be the same size as the designer.
Yes.
Or at least
you
closer
also
to.
like and look good in fairly relaxed fits or things with a lot of drape where I need them more structured. So you're not adapting patterns to fit.
This is true, yes.
A style and body type that's different. So like it's just easier that way. And that's fine. I don't mind doing the work because I don't mind doing the work because I know it's a fit thing. I also know it just means you're going to have an easier time of the shoulders. You're going to have an easier time of the cardigan. So I'm going to be like, yes, because you don't need to add extra length. You don't need to adjust your row counts. You don't need to do any of that. And you have better eyesight. So you can pick a darker color palette.
It does help.
Yeah. Like you could go black, gray, white and make it monochrome.
Yeah. Yeah, that'd be good.
Yeah. Or, you know, super dark purple, medium purple, light purple.
Also that, although that's kind of what I'm working on right now. So I feel like I don't need a second purple sweater.
That's crazy.
I like the monochrome idea.
Second purple sweater? It's totally different sweater.
Because I mean, I'm wearing like a pinky purple sweater right now and I'm working on a purple sweater. And like, how many purple sweaters does one really need?
12.
I mean, you might be right, but I feel like I should at least try to throw some variation in there.
Okay, fair. Would you like to do an item? I've done 3.
Sure.
It was check-in, guys. There's always so much to talk about after a check-in. So much.
Okay. I'm close enough to done around on this. So the aforementioned purple sweater, I gotta wheel back farther. Granny Square, it's coming along. So there's going to be a Granny Square cocoon cardigan, and it is, if I hold it up to myself, hang on, I gotta put this.
That's a totally different purple.
Gotta put this hook down.
It's a totally different purple. Totally different sweater. What are you doing?
I'm attempting to hold it up so it actually stays so I can measure. So
You've
my
got a
elbow
ways
is
to
here.
go.
And the edge of the, yeah, I got a few more rounds to go.
You got a few more rounds to go before you even think about it.
Got a few more rounds to go. But I have an entire Karen cake in here so far. I'm into my second Karen cake.
Yep.
The color was blackberry souffle, I think.
Yes, yeah, blackberry souffle.
So.
That's just so pretty.
Light, medium, dark purples, and then like a more red one and a more brown one.
So pretty.
And I absolutely love how it is working up. And it's a very good thing that I got 3. I really thought that one was going to make the cocoon part. No, I think that it's going to be really close to 2. It's going to be real close to 2. And then I still need like a border and maybe sleeves, maybe. I'll see how I feel when I get to that point.
No, if you'd come home and said I was going to do it one, I would have started laughing at you.
Yeah, it would have to have been a heckin' huge cake. Anyway, for everybody looking at this square and wondering how that turns into a sweater, allow me to demonstrate now that I think it's actually big enough to do so.
Essentially, you fold it in half, so it's a hot dog shape.
Yeah.
And then you sew up 2 sides till you have armholes.
Basically. Yeah, you take your this is obviously going to be longer. So then you'll seam up. Right now it's more of a shrug. But basically you fold it in half and then seam up the sides, leaving space for an armhole. And optionally you can add sleeves. And then ta-da, you've turned a square into a sweater.
You've turned a square into a sweater. You're gonna love it. Like I said, I love making them. I just don't wear the things.
And I love how the stripes are turning out. And it's just,
I do this to myself.
I really like it. Also, I'm really warm and I need to ditch the sweater. It's too warm.
Okay, it's late, so I'm starting to yawn.
Oh,
And my eyes
the two
are watering.
monitors and the two lights and the computer tower. And
so warm.
And then I lit a candle for ambiance, and I'm sure that's helping with the heat.
Why? Why?
Because it smells nice, and I wanted lavender smells.
In my branded bag, I'm so on brand today, guys.
I got a branded bag in the background.
Don't forget to knit on the back. I stuck spinning.
Mine's just holding like bulky leftovers.
Oh,
it's got like 2 sweaters of leftovers in there.
And in the handy dandy pocket on the inside, I stuck my ball band from the fiber braid. So this is another piece of check-in race against myself versus myself. I do a monthly check-in.
It could be contest.
This is a contest with myself. And I wanted to spin the last of this fiber bump called Lilac Lane from Fireweed Fiber Co. Are you sensing it? It's because she brings me yarn. I order it and she brings it to me. That is why I have so much of her yarn.
Very dangerous.
I have spun half my braid.
Ooh, that's so pretty.
So it's sitting.
I love it.
Sitting on a spare spindle for my lazy Kate wheel. I don't remember what those are called. Something. But I have an empty drop spindle. And I'm ready to start drafting the second half of this fiber bump.
Pretty. It's
so
pretty.
This is Lilac Lane.
It's pretty. I want to touch it. I want to touch it.
Yes, you're too far away from that. So my fiber is perfectly safe, guys. She can't come here just haphazardly on a whim. I'm good. So I want to get through the last of that and get it plied so that it can be plied and done. It's going to be 2 ply because that's what I'm practicing right now. That's where we're going. But until I'm ready to do that, it lives on the back of my rocking chair. So much stuff lives in the back of my rocking chair. It's great. As to why the rocking chair is now here and it is now the new computer chair is because this is a small office space and I needed to make more room for my sewing table. That is why. This literally just has spare leftover yarn. And my new fiber bump. So this is what I'm going to try to spin this month. On a drop spindle for this month's check-in. Peacock.
Ooh. I think I love that even more. That's so pretty. Oh,
yep. So it's gonna have to go with the fiber. It also has like the spare skeins for the holly cardigan in my recycling gives you wings back, which hangs off the other. It's like awkwardly trying to hang it while pitching backwards. There's only so much floor space, and if you take up too much floor space, the cat gets angry. And she starts pitching things out of bags to demonstrate how you have done wrong.
Yeah.
I have 3 things left.
The floor is her domain. I have 2 things left. Okay. Should I do a thing?
Sure.
Okay, let me just finish that stitch. My other crochet sweater that I'd started in a fit of castonitis and Michael's sale yarn last week.
The top.
This is the
top.
The what?
Oh, no, that's not the cotton top.
No, this is the Crochet Funfetti Bomber cardigan from Crochet with Carrie.
It's the one.
A free pattern on her website.
Oh, that's really
I finished the back piece.
That's really super nicely.
Yeah. Obviously the front stripes and the back stripes are not gonna match up, but that's okay. So
Oh,
it's
well, okay,
yeah,
they can, but you would
they
have
can.
to
I'm not, I don't
pre-split
care
your
that
yarn.
much. I do not care that much. It's gonna do what it does, and that's fine.
Well, I've got that campfire cardi, the crocheted one. It's the same thing. It's made out of carrot cakes, and
Yeah.
you can see from front to back in the sleeves. Did not care. Did not care.
Yeah.
And I live in
So
that
this
cotton cardigan, guys.
I stand up a little bit more. I made it to the length described in the pattern. I made it slightly narrower than the pattern. It's a free pattern, so I can talk about all the things. It says cast on 42. Nice.
Yeah.
Or I guess chain. I only did 40 because the pattern calls for like 10 inches of positive ease, and I'm like,
that's a bit much.
Not that much positive ease. Don't need that much positive ease.
No.
So I did 40 stitches, and also I only have a 10 millimeter hook instead of a 12 millimeter hook. And you know what? I think that's fine. It's still, without stretching it in the slightest, it's still slightly wider than my shoulders.
So once that's washed and relaxes a little.
Washed and worn, it'll grow.
Yeah.
And then lengthwise, it's cropped-ish, but that's again going to grow a little bit when it's washed and worn.
Yeah. Well, so the bomber style's never long anyway.
Yeah. So I think it's going to be good because if I stretch it, it gets a lot longer really fast. So like, yeah. I don't know what washing it is going to do, but it's either going to be cropped or it's going to be hip length. I don't know. That's quite the range.
We'll find out.
It'll be a bit of an adventure, and either way it turns out, I don't care. It's fine. So this is out of a Karen Big Cake in Dulce de Leche.
Yes.
I don't know if I'm pronouncing that correctly, but
that's what you said last week. So
nobody told me I said it wrong, so that's my best guess. And it's like light gray and dark gray and medium gray and some brown. Oh, and I guess some cream.
Okay. Oh, I'm excited to see that all finished.
Yeah. So that's the back piece finished. Let me fold that up because there's no way it's going to fit on this desk full of crap. And then I have started one of the front pieces.
Ooh, you have been crocheting like a fiend this week.
Yeah. Well, I'm like bulky yarn works up so fast. But yeah, you can see the difference in stripe size. Like, I'm not done the dark gray yet on the front, and this is how wide it is on the back. So it's wildly different stripe widths.
Yeah, if you don't care, it's fine.
I don't care. I do not care. And it's so soft. I cannot impress upon you how wonderfully soft and squishy this is. It's so squishy. I'm so excited for this. It's going to be like wearing a duvet.
You're going to wear a duvet?
I'm going to wear a duvet. I'm so excited.
The best thing about late Sunday nights is there's just so many one-liners. There's just so many one-liners.
I'm going to wear a duvet. I'm going to wear a socially acceptable duvet. Anyway, this stitch pattern is a half double crochet and a slip stitch all the way across, which requires ever so slightly more brain power than just the double crochets and chain ones of the granny square, which is why this is not the one that I'm working on right now.
This one's going to require just a touch of brain power because it's a single crochet into a chain one space and then chain one and single crochet in a chain one space, which does not sound difficult because it's not difficult. But every once in a while,
just a little bit of acuity.
Your brain goes, no, I gone goofed that up a little.
Oh, there I go. I've eaten fiber. Anyway, and I've got these lovely ergonomic hooks, and yeah, I used to think that ergonomic hooks were kind of silly.
They're not.
But they are not silly. They're great. They're ergonomic. Ergonomic hooks are not silly. Also, they come in fun, bright colors. And also, I'm realizing as I crochet like a fiend with this little metal stick here, I think I'm getting a blister on the edge of my finger.
Yeah, I've worn up.
I've never done that before.
I've got a callus on my first knuckle from where the hooks sit, which is the same place when I wrote, like when I used to write things out by hand. It's the same place my callus existed when I did my university degree and high school, because that's where my pen always rested.
I don't know if it's just because this hook is bigger or because like the grip is bigger or like what, but like this one, it doesn't rest in the same place as the little hook does.
No, it doesn't.
So I'm getting an injury from the little hook. Oh, also in case I got injured by roses, in case anybody's noticed that and gone, what the heck happened to you? A rose bush. I got attacked by a rose bush today.
Specifically,
I won.
You went after the rose bush, and the rose bush defended itself.
I attacked the rose bush with clippers because the rose bush was trying to leave the flower bed and attack my face. So I attacked the rose bush and it fought back, but I won.
All I'm picturing is that was a Mexican standoff between you and the rose bush. We should not be allowed to record in the evenings.
It was a little bit like that. Yeah. Yeah, I have a few wounds from the yard work today, but I think I won. I don't know. I haven't got the cuttings. I haven't got the spiky cuttings into a bag because we ran out of bags. So they're just in a pile. So I still have to deal with those.
Okay. Have fun.
Yeah. I think I need to invest in some thicker gloves.
Possibly.
Like I had long sleeves on and everything, and they just like chewed up my arm. Okay, there's all my injuries. I've talked about my injuries. We can carry on with the
we've discussed your woes. Because I mean, Phaedra talks to me sometimes when she's upset and wants me to know something. And Mara Pius, you have kitten woes? You're having a hard life today?
Yeah.
It's usually because I've closed a window and she doesn't want it closed.
That's terrible. It's the worst thing that's happened today.
Or I'm making a bed and she's not allowed on it.
Oh, how dare you?
Are you ready for a blast from the past?
Uh-huh.
This month's check-in knitting, and I did 3 things. 3. I'm going to spin that peacock fiber. The second thing I decided, I let people vote on the color, which by the way, it was a toss-up between peacock and blood of my enemies for a good long while.
Ooh, both very good colors.
Very good colors.
So I have some blood of my enemies, don't I?
Yes, you do. We both have Winter is Coming and Blood of My Enemies.
Oh yeah.
Because we bought them as paired sets because they made us giggle. That's Cloud9 Fiberworks. That's Daria. And she names her fiber. She's great names for her fiber. So here are the 2 sleeves, and they are 2 sleeves, doing them 2 at a time, of the Lodge sweater. The sweater itself is actually sitting in the front room. I didn't bother to bring it in here. I've got the sleeves in here. So I have decided that this will be my check-in knitting, as I want to finish the Lodge sweater, which is a bottom-up worsted weight, essentially plain sweater with a turtleneck top. You guys can look it up, Lodge sweater. And I am doing it in some black, which is crazy until you realize I can't see in fingering and I knit in that anyway. So what the heck's the difference? And I have this amazing, amazing black tweed from Impeccable. Look at that acrylic tweed. So it's an acrylic tweed, so I can put it in the washer, I can put it in the dryer. It's black, so I can snuggle up in it. And if we all know anything from my passionate love affair with Impeccable yarn as my go-to choice for acrylic yarn, this stuff gets softer after you wash and dry it. Diana can confirm she's put on things post-washing.
Yes, stunningly soft.
Stunningly soft.
Is this even the same yarn?
Pretty much. And that it's washer and dryer safe means it is a very good workhorse article of clothing for me. It means that I don't have to worry about trying to find somewhere in my tiny apartment to hang it to dry or lay it flat to dry. Because if you lay something flat in an apartment with a cat, guess what you get?
A hairy sweater.
A hairy sweater, because my cat likes lying on damp things. I don't know, guys. I know she's like, even for a cat, she's weird. She's weird. You should see her the other day. She played with her catnip toy so hard she was passed out across 3 cushions, belly up on the couch. So asleep. She didn't even twitch an ear when I walked past her with the broom.
Ooh.
And everyone who knows Phaedra knows that Broom is our arch nemesis, the most hated of all hated villains. is broom. We freak our
Not
tail
even a near
fluffs.
Twitch for broom.
Not even near Twitch for brooms. Like we were out.
Wow.
Out. What did I do? I took a picture and sent it to her grandmother. I said, your grandcat is so stoned and so passed out. We didn't even ear twitch for broom. But my mom's like, we had a good old time. I'm like, yes, we did.
A real good time.
Real good time. All right. The other thing that I have left on the check-in list, because I'd like to finish it, and drum roll please, I've already written the lace pattern out for this.
Gasp.
Gasp. The hard
Gasp.
part's done. The next step is to put it on one of those really long cords you gave me, because
Oh, yeah.
now I need to. Look at this beautiful sparkly yarn.
I can't really see the sparkle, but it looks great.
The sparkle in person's kind of intense. It's red heart. Roll with it.
Oh, maybe I can see it. I can't tell.
When you see, pause for fire. Goodness. I will show you in person. The next time you come to visit, we're able to see each other in person, because the sparkle on the red heart roll with it sparkle is pretty freaking intense, guys. It's beautiful. I love it. I wanted to show off, and I wanted a pattern that showed off the gradation. That wasn't just plain stockinette that had some lacing in it that showed up. So I wrote it all out. So the hard part for me is done. So now I just need to finish knitting this ball, which grades out to the black, and then pick up my second ball of the same gradation and work the reverse and finish this shawl. Now, having said that, I'm already at almost 100 stitches on either side of my center. So I'm almost at 200 stitches. And I still have this much of my first ball. Oh, so yeah, I'm almost, yeah, because I want 100 stitches on either side. So I'm like 78 or no, I'm at 82 stitches on either side. So I'm almost at 200 stitches, and I haven't even cracked my second ball yet. So I still have a lot of shawl to knit.
Yeah.
But I did the hard part first, which was getting, for me, it's getting the lace pattern doodles into the computer, because now it's just putting in numbers when I transition from one thing to another and following the charts I made and writing out the instructions for it. So like, because I'll work off the chart from the hand-drawn picture, and then I'll just write the instructions, and when it's done and I know that the chart's good, right? So nice. Done and done. So I made big progress since this didn't exist last month, nor did the pattern. But thank God you sent those 60-inch cords, because put this on a 60-inch cord. I want to still be able to show it off in the lace sections, and I'm already maxed out on that 40-inch cord.
It's going to be an absolutely massive shawl when you're done.
It's going to be huge. The other thing I did this week is I recast it on that bulky cardigan I want to make, that I'm designing. Because, you know,
yes, the one that was
I did the
supposed
math
to be
wrong.
The one that was moss stitch and then turned into perfect ribbing, but then it was the wrong amount of perfect ribbing.
Yep.
Right.
So I pulled it out because it was the wrong amount of perfect ribbing by a lot. But I really got onto the idea that I was going to make this into a bulky weight cardigan that's designed for me by me, which means not oversized and baggy.
Goodness, what is going on there? There's so many sirens.
I don't know, man. It's a Sunday night. There's always more on Sunday nights. I don't know what people do on the weekend. Boy, y'all hurt yourselves so much on a Sundays. So here's that Briggs & Little held double. So it is Heritage in a gray and in their rose color, antique rose. It's a pink. It's the Heritage pink color. It's the pinky pink color. I want to say country rose because on its own, it reminds me of the wall color in one of my parents' house when I grew up. I grew up in like 15 houses. There was many. And this one was on Cherry Crescent. It was a 4-level bi split, and it had a Western country rose everything.
Ooh, that's a choice.
It was a choice, and it was a country theme, so it was wood and country rose pink everywhere.
That's a choice.
We made changes to that house, but that was the house with the pool in the backyard.
Okay, not so bad then.
Not so bad. And it was really close to school, so that worked. So my ribbing turned out equally as good this time. 1 by 1 rib. Turns out I can count to
nice.
1, can't count to 2.
Very nice.
That's always good to know. So I'm slowly working out the back panel. Well, technically it's the back and front panels for minimal seaming. Minimal seaming. So I sort of just putter on this while I'm listening to the radio in the morning. Because it just sits out on the coffee table. So we'll see how far I get with this, because pick it up when I want to. But that is the last thing I worked on this week.
Nice.
Why do I feel like I did that the wrong way? Because I did do that the wrong way.
All right, I've got one more thing.
So much fun. I'm going to lean. Ooh, I'm going to pour tea, and then I'm going to lean back in my rocking chair.
Good call. Good order of operations.
Well, it would be awkward the other way. My arm's really so long.
I worked on my wood-themed podcast-versary thing.
Okay.
I did like a grand total of 4 rows on the main body. I found a progress keeper. Hey. So I did like a grand total of 4 rows, but I got my first little points done. Okay. So there's one little point over here that is no longer attached. So I got to like cast off some stitches. And then there's the symmetrical little point on the other side. Yep. Because if you can imagine this being a giant maple leaf shape with a stem right here in the middle, indicated by my nose. If you can imagine, imagine that these are the little points by the stem. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So this is going to be huge.
It's going to.
Yeah. So yeah. And I don't think I've screwed it up too bad yet. I guess I had that one screw up that I talked about that one time a few weeks ago that honestly I can't even see right now. So it does not matter because I literally cannot see it. It's somewhere. I don't know. There's a mistake in here and I can't see it, so it's fine. It does not matter.
Doesn't matter.
And I still have lots more yarn to go through, so that's also good. This is what's the colorway? Winchester brackets Dean. And it's brown with a little bit of gray, and is it silken merino? I think so. Silken something. Anyway, it's very soft and very drapey. And it is going to be a ridiculous article of clothing when I am done. I don't know to what event one wears a maple leaf shaped shawl, nor do I know how one applies a maple leaf shape to one's body, but I will figure it out.
We'll find out soon enough.
We will find out. Anyway, there's the update on that. There's some points.
There's some points?
Yep, I did some points. Okay, that's it. That's everything. That's all my things.
Big yawn. It's late.
Stop that yawning.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Yeah. Okay, quickly, onward before we fall asleep.
Onwards and upwards.
So wool gathering. Oh no, it's time for the unscripted Patreon ad. Hang on, I need to fortify myself with some tea.
Listen. You should have heard what Sherry thought you should have to do for the unscripted Patreon ad.
Oh no, what does Sherry think I have to do?
She thinks we should poll Patreon members for a random word and get you to just seamlessly put that random word in there somehow, like macaroni.
I see. This is the game now.
And I went, you go ahead and suggest that, and I'm just going to sit here and laugh.
Well, holy macaroni, folks, it's time for the unscripted Patreon ad.
Oh my God, so much yes.
Oh. Okay, well, this is the new game now.
We don't have to. I can cut this part out.
That was fun.
Taking suggestions down below. Leave a comment.
If for some reason you want to financially support these shenanigans, you may do so at, my arm really hurts, patreon.com/Northern Knits Podcast. Any level of support gets you access to our patron-only Discord server, where somebody is active at all of the hours of the day and the night, and I lurk, and then people ping me, and I get roped into things very willingly, I might add.
Yep, that's exactly how that works.
Oh, and sometimes Jocelyn also games in there.
I do a lot
That's a
of
new
gaming
thing.
in the general chat and just share my screen while we sit and we visit and I play video games.
Sometimes I'm there, sometimes I'm in meetings.
Yeah, that's fine.
What else? There's early access to bonus content. There's the weekly Experimental Tuesday blog posts where we cook something experimental and then write a little blog about it.
Yep.
There's, for the higher tier patrons, there's the monthly e-knit-in where we hang out on a Zoom call like a knit club. The next one of those is, I wrote it down, April the 16th, which is this Saturday coming up, the very next one that occurs.
It is this coming Saturday.
And we now have a quarterly movie night, afternoon, day, time of day, a quarterly movie watch party. The next one of which is on May the 14th, which is a Saturday, at noon Manitoba time. There is or was a poll up. For
still up. I haven't checked it, so I don't know if Blade is still leading or not, but
okay.
It was last time I checked.
It's the watch party for Diana Hasn't Seen, iconic 90s film. Yeah. So we're doing that. And have I remembered all the things?
Yeah, most of it. All of it. I don't know. I find it's best if I don't pay too much attention or I start giggling. Just
I can make myself laugh, so don't even worry about it.
I'm like, should be paying attention. No, my brain floats every time. Every time.
I just said the phrase "holy macaroni," folks, on the internet. So like, just
willingly, she could have said no. She could have said no.
Nope, I am far too yes and.
As always, we super understand. If you can't, budgets are real life things. Liking, commenting, and subscribing, joining us here on YouTube and other social media platforms is always a great way to get a hold in contact with us. Show us what you're working on and let us know what's up with your week. So we have the YouTubes, we have the Instagrams, and we have a Facebook group, so you can reach out to us there. These are key and important factors because Instagram and Facebook is how you enter the giveaway draws for the cows we run. So the first of the cows is the podcast anniversary cow. Diane and I have been spending the first 4 months now of the year celebrating reaching 5 years of doing this. Kind of crazy.
That's wild.
That
I
cow's
still
gonna
haven't
wrap
come to
up.
grips with that.
That cow's going to wrap up at the end of this month. We will pull names, randomly assign some winners, and we will be giving out prizes. We got a bag, we got a couple scans of yarn. And if you're not already a Patreon and Discord member, we also have a little 6-month free trial. First taste is free of the Discord thread to come and join us and see what all the crazy is about.
Sounds like a drug.
It really does, because it is. I check now, like every other hour, I check that Discord thread because I'm like, oh, has somebody been in here? What's going on? Who's doing what today? I have the Discord thread on stalker mode. It's just how that is. It's just how that is. The other knit along we're currently running that neither one of us is working on, so we are perfectly to our regularly scheduled programming, is the Spring Cow or a Star Cow. Diana has all the show notes.
Mine's in the background right here. I conveniently hit it right behind my head.
That's okay. Super
you
messed
can't
up.
see it.
It's super messed up. I said show notes in the wrong location. Diana has all of the rules and some inspirational links for that listed in the show notes as its own thing, so you can find all the rules and regulations, the few of them that there are, in there. As always, if you're not entirely sure, please feel free to private message us on Instagram. If you're a Patreon member in the Discord, just tag me and ask me. I have yet to say no. I have yet to say no. So odds are pretty good. I'm going to say yes. You're participating in Sock Madness? Socks count. Make a unicorn stuffy? Totally counts. Because again, as I quoted, unicorns are like dinosaurs. They're eternal. They count for everything. Hey, listen, did you see the cat sweater and the pattern links today?
No. What?
That's what you get for not checking the Patreon Discord.
I need to see this cat sweater. Just
Lasai,
everybody
people.
hold on a second.
Lasai. So while Diana does that, I can let you know that we don't have prices yet for the spring cowl. That's going to run until we get ready for the summer cowl. So 3 months from our cast on date, which was the spring equinox. So it will run until the summer solstice, and then we will switch cows. So hopefully everyone enjoys. Enter as many times as you like with as many projects as you like. FOs are the rule. WIPs are more than welcome. And so long as it's not a baby item, it counts. And
bigger than a baby item.
Bigger than a baby item, and I need that cat sweater.
I saw that dinosaur tea test knit the other day.
When that comes out,
I am on that the instant it is out. I'm casting that on the day it comes out.
Yes. We were talking about that, and I was like, oh no, she's making it. I can guarantee you right now that's happening. It's got dinosaurs. Absolutely. It is an amazing dinosaur pattern.
I thought really hard about trying to get in as a test knitter, and then I'm like, no, you don't knit fast enough for that. That's not happening. So, I'll just be on it when it comes out.
How's that test knit you're doing for me for a pattern I released almost a year ago now? That's what I thought.
We don't speak of it.
Test knitting's not for you, and that's super okay. Test knitting's not for me either.
It's really not.
I am a bad test knitter. I should not test knit things. So that is really it. That's all I've got. I don't have anything else to add into the wool gathering section right now.
Our next live episode. This is why I make notes. Our next live episode will be on Sunday, May the 1st at noon Manitoba time. And
it's too like your brain doesn't stop talking. Is it your turn?
I don't know.
Oh, continue. I'm sorry. Oh, we're such a pause and go for that one. I'm like, she's thinking about it.
There's dead air. Gotta fill the dead air. Must talk. What else is going on? When's your next check-in with Louise? Are you doing the middle of the month thing? Is that a normal thing now?
We're doing a mid-month motivation, which will be not this coming is it this Thursday? No, next Thursday.
Next Thursday. Okay, I wrote down the 21st with a question mark because I wasn't sure.
Yes. Next Thursday.
Okay. Next Thursday, the 21st.
Yeah, we're going to talk about spinning.
On Louise's channel, which will be linked in the show notes. I don't know why I said it like Louise. And I'm sorry, Louise. We were gonna do a whip pull.
We are. Do you remember what it's about, or do you just remember that you wrote it down?
I wrote down the words whip pull. No. I got talked into a thing on Discord again. And I talked into somebody mentioned it, and I went, yeah, that sounds fun.
And I went, okay, are you sure? Yeah. All right, that's the thing. We're gonna do it.
Yeah. So we're going to let people vote on a couple of whips from our whip bin, and then we work on it in secret for, was it a month we decided?
Yes.
We're gonna secret for a month. And then, I mean, ideally it becomes a finished object at the end of that month. Who knows? But we're going to let people vote on the whips from the bin to work on for a month in secret.
As we get closer.
I did not pitch that well.
That's fine. That's why I'm here.
Would you like to pitch it better? It sounded better when you pitched it. I did it bad.
That's almost like we have two different levels of expertise on these things.
Just more like, do I remember the things that you
did well. You did really well.
I think I remembered the things. I didn't pitch them well.
Things. That's fine.
Guys, I'll shut up and let you pitch it better now.
At the end of the month, we're going to open up 2 polls. One's going to be for Diana, one's going to be for me. It'll be option A or option B. And you guys are going to get the chance to vote on what we work on in secret for the next month. So the winners are going to be announced. Well, the winning projects are going to be announced on the live broadcasts, and then they'll go into hiding, and we will not mention them till the following live broadcast, and where we will wrap it up, tell you what it is we got accomplished or did not get accomplished on our secret knitting, and then we will reveal the winners for the next month. So a week beforehand, Diana will drop an Instagram question poll, and then I will drop an Instagram question poll probably the next day. So you guys have a couple of days to get your voting in, and then we'll count votes like right up to when we go live, because that's how we function. We'll be getting ready and both of us will be like, ha, 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 right, we were supposed to count those.
Uh-huh.
We're going to post them on the YouTube community group as well as the Facebook group page. So that way, if you use different social media platforms to do your voting on, you can do that. If you like to be one of those people who likes to vote on all three, that also then becomes an option for you. So we're doing it that way, not Instagram stories, because that's really a 24-hour only thing. And neither one of us are any good at checking that at all. So that seems like a bad idea. So the whole idea and point is for Diana to finish some things and start some things. So we're not limiting this to crochet or knitting or spinning. This will also include things like cross stitch, embroidery, Diana actually using her sewing machine. There's a bunch of things that can be put up there as options for the secret crafting for the month. So take a look, get ready, get excited, and I can't wait to see what Diana picks to vote for, which, by the way, I have other social media accounts. I am so voting in her poll. Maybe twice, because I have 3.
So obviously this is a very fair democracy, one vote per person sort of a poll.
Absolutely not. It's representational.
All right.
It's representational, and I have a bigger representational chunk of that pie. Obviously.
That works. It's not super serious.
No.
Either way, we'll work on something secretively.
Yeah. Not at all. It's just to challenge us to help get things done and to try new things. Like say that Halloween cross stitch, I still haven't picked up.
Uh-huh. Yeah. 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 Maybe I'll do more than 5 stars on that embroidery.
Yeah, hey. So I'm excited. I think it'll be great fun. I look forward to everybody bothering me.
It'll be great fun
about yet one more thing. All right, done and done, which means we only have books left to talk about.
Only books. Ah. Do you want to book first, or shall I book first?
I'll book first because I've only got one book.
Okay.
I have now made it more than 5 minutes into the Master of Jin. And oh, it's delightful.
Isn't it?
I am loving how they use words for descriptions, how they define people, the events that are going on. Like, it's very well grounded and quite humorous. And yeah, it's a cozy murder. It's a cozy murder book because it's a whodunit, sort of. But it's definitely not gross, not overly detailed, not any of that sort of gritty realism that some of them can go for. It's lighthearted, it's fun. I love the environment, I love the setting, I love the magic system, I love the whole night. It's just, yes, super delightful, cheesy,
it's
over
delightful.
The top. I got like 2 hours left and I finished the book, mostly because I fell down a Critical Role rabbit hole, which happens to me sometimes.
Yeah.
All I'm doing is Critical Role right now. So that's a thing. Oh. But yeah, no. So happy I read it. And I'm almost done. So I've almost revealed the bad guy. Guys, I know who the bad guy is. It's fine.
Yeah, it's one of those ones where you're like, I bet it's you, because we've introduced you and given like an odd little detail and then never mentioned you again. So you're going to be important later. So, okay, cool. So that's fine. I will wait for the grand reveal, as it were, and we'll go from there. So it's fine. Super stoked. I would love to see that book. I feel like that book would movie well.
It would movie so well. I would
And like,
totally.
can you just imagine how much fun the costume department would have?
Special effects, costumes,
Design.
set design. It would be amazing and totally doable within the
It would have
format
to
of
be
the
pretty
book.
high budget to do it justice, though.
So good. So good. Worth it.
Okay.
You wouldn't even have to have read the book to enjoy it. It'll just be such a good action adventure romp.
Yeah.
Yeah. Totally a thing.
Okay. So this week I finished the box, How the Shipping Container Made the World Smaller and the World Economy Bigger. It was super hyped up at work, to the point where they were getting the author in to do a Q&A last Tuesday. And so I'm like, okay, I'm going to read this book before that. And I almost succeeded. I had like an hour, 90 minutes left by the time that came around. So like I finished it that night.
Yeah.
If you are into shipping logistics and or the economy, this is probably a very interesting book. I am into neither of those things, and I feel this book was dramatically overhyped to me at work. I kind of finished it out of spite. I did not enjoy it. It was very dry with a lot of numbers.
Staring down the book, I will not win. This war is
But
mine.
I thought really hard about DNFing it, but I'm like, I have 2 hours left and I'm listening to it at 2x speed. Like, just finish. I finished out of spite.
Just finish.
Which isn't to say that it's a bad book. It was just not a book for me, and I don't know. I read something different and I didn't like it. But that's just my take on it. If you're interested in numbers in the economy, it's probably great. Lots of people seem to think it's pretty great. So,
hey, listen, a lot of people love the Outlander series and I dislike it entirely. So there is a personal taste.
Definitely
involved. Yeah.
I kind of like Outlander. Although
fine.
I always get like halfway through the second book and then put it down and never pick it up again. And it's always about the same point. I've tried like 3 times now.
You're
first
only
book's
interested
great. I love the first book.
Up to that.
I'm about
halfway through the second book. Then you're done. That's all you want.
It was like that with the show too. I got like halfway through season 2 and I'm like, meh. Anyway.
I love that you quit at the same spot in both formats.
It's so weird. I don't know. It's just that part of the story. I'm just like, I don't care anymore, apparently. I don't know.
And I'm done.
We're done here.
That's so good. All right. Well, in which case, if we're all
But again,
done,
like season 1, love that.
do you have more books?
Love is the wrong word, but enjoyed.
Enjoyed? That's fair. Did you have more books?
Well, after I finished the box out of spite, I picked up the next. I have my audiobooks organized by ones that I've started, but that have the least amount of time left, so that I might actually finish something.
Okay.
So that happened to be Kith and Kin, which is the Vox Machina backstory of Vex and Vax.
Yeah. That's another
so
cute
I got about
little...
6 hours left of that.
That's a cute little
it's
story
cute.
too.
Yeah, I like it.
It's a cute little
story. It's nice. It's a nice D&D adventure romp, and like, you know, everything's gonna be fine because this is the prequel to the campaign, so obviously everybody's fine and carries on to go have a lovely campaign 1.
Yes.
Yeah, so I'm enjoying that because it's simple. And that's where my brain's at right now.
Okay.
I like a nice simple adventure romp. Yeah, that's my books.
Cool. And in which case, I'll say it's late. So I'm going to say until next week. I'm Jocelyn.
And I'm Diana.
And no matter where your week takes you, don't forget to knit.
Don't forget to knit.
Oh,
Crochet.
Man. Or crochet.